suppose there's no sugarcoating it. It's make or break this weekend.
Yeah, it is. I mean, for both sides, so it's it's really exciting. I think I don't think it's probably the biggest game ever staged between North Melbourne and Fremantle. So, it's a huge game for us, huge game for them, and bottom line is both sides have got to win it. So, we certainly won't be leaving anything behind. We'll be picking our best available side, and what's really exciting about that for us is our best available side this week includes Aaron Mullett, who will come off our rookie list and be elevated this afternoon and will make his debut on the weekend. So it's a high pressure game and a game we've got to win, but I think it just goes to show the confidence we've got in Aaron, that he's in really good form in the VFL, and we think he'll come in and make a real difference to our senior side.
What sort of player is he?
Well, we'll probably play him in defence. He can play on a wing, but he's a beautiful left foot kick. He can also use the ball pretty well on his right side. He's got genuine pace, and we think he's a really good one-on-one defender. So he comes from the Eastern Ranges, and we've been excited about him for a while. He was always seen as a very undersized kid, but has worked really diligently to put a lot of weight on, and we think he's ready for AFL footy now, which is terrific for him and it's great for us.
Brad, you've obviously got a pretty healthy list, apart from a couple of season ones, but why now for him?
Well, it's just taken him this long to force his way into the side. We've had a fairly settled back six, and we're starting to develop some real depth in our midfield. So he hasn't been able to force his way into the side, but his performances for North Ballarat have just forced us to pick him. So it's taken till now for him to get his opportunity, but he's given the match committee no option but to pick him, which is the way it should be.
What did you do in the bye, and what did the bye do for you?
Look, we gave the players a bit of time off. I can't remember in my time in football a side that's had to play 17 games in a row. So we really needed the bye. And we had a couple of 6-day breaks just before the bye as well. So I thought it was a good opportunity for a bit of rest and rejuvenation. So we gave the players 3 or 4 days off, and I think that was as much mental as physical. And they've come back, in terrific shape, and they know the importance of the next 3 weeks. So we've just got to hold up our end of the bargain, and our performances over the next 3 weeks will leave us where it leaves us, and that's probably where we'll deserve to finish, wherever it is.
Edwards has improved his consistency this year, but he's sort of struggled for goals in the past 2 months. It's the sort of time you really need him to fight and ease pressure on Petrie and your small forwards.
Oh, potentially. I mean, with Aaron, he plays a specific role in the side for us, and some weeks that means he gets a lot of shots at goal. Other weeks it means that it might be Petrie or Thomas or Pedersen who get the shot at goals, or Lockie Hansen. So, we just ask that he plays that role consistently, and he's been doing that really well for us. His output may not be consistent or as consistent as people would like, but the things we look really closely at and adhering to our team's set plays and our team systems, he does as well as anyone on the side. So we're really pleased with his output.
Brad, with such a big game that you're talking about, is this the sort of game that you challenge your players to say, right, this is where you can show North Melbourne's taking a step?
I think they know that. I don't think they need any extra impetus from me on that front. They know the importance of it. We know that internally that we've improved as a side, and every week we get an opportunity to go out and show that. And the games against Hawthorn and Carlton, we didn't get the result, which we were bitterly disappointed about. But I think the players know that with a little added polish, we can get the job done against those good sides. So, Fremantle's another one of those. So, we get another good opportunity, and I don't need to remind them how important it is.
Mark Harvey said that when they had their last bye, that they took the time to clinically pick apart Sydney and implement a real plan. Have you taken the opportunity to do the same here?
No more so than usual. I would like to think that our match committee do that every week for every opponent. So there's been nothing different about our approach to Fremantle than we had to any other side this year.
So how do you see that?
Oh, look, I think that, to be honest, I think their injury, they've done a terrific job with the injuries they've had, but you look at the side on paper, I expect them to bring Mundy back into the side, and it's potentially the last roll of the dice for them. So Mundy's a quality player, and they did the same with Sandilands last week. So who's missing from their side? I think they've got their pretty close to their best available side. They've got some injuries, no doubt, but in terms of the calibre of players they do have available, it's a pretty strong looking side on paper. So that changes things. I mean, the way Fremantle present themselves is very different when Sandilands, Pavlich and Mundy are all on the side. So they're a different proposition to what they were a month ago, and we're expecting them to be at their best.
Okay, so you got Sandilands and Clark to contend with. Can Goldsmith handle that, or do you have to structurally change things?
Oh no, well, we don't expect Todd Goldstein to handle it by himself, but you know, I've said before, I think Drew Petrie could shoulder the ruck load by himself if he needed to, and Cam Pedersen can also play in there as well. Lockie Hansen's 197 centimetres, so you know, Kepler Bradley's shouldered the backup duties for Fremantle in the past. So while Zach Clark's been in terrific form, I've been really impressed with the way he's played. You know, potentially presents a structural problem for them too, because you know, Bradley's been that backup ruck, and you know, with Bradley, Clark, Sandilands as well, you know, it's a bit of a different look to the Fremantle we've seen in the past. So, you know, we think our 3 or 4 guys can handle Sandilands and the rest.
Does that mean Hansen comes straight back then?
No, we'll have to have a look at the structure. I mean, it's rare that we've gone in with that many tools. So, and you know, with our back half, Nathan Grimer will come back in to our defence. So, you know, Nathan's had to go back and get some fitness. He didn't have a pre-season at all. We potentially brought him back into the side too early, but he's a super important part of our defence. So he's a first choice defender. So he's fit, in really good form. So we'll bring him back in. So, you know, that would probably mean that a tall might get squeezed out.
Liam Anthony, a chance?
No, Liam won't play. He's still, he had a really good game on the weekend, in a really good win for North Ballarat. But we still think that that Liam's got to be at his absolute best, and his ankle is still not absolutely perfect. So we'll give him at least another week in the VFL. And you know, we're in a fortunate position where we've got a lot of young guys who are in good form. So Liam will have to, you know, knock the door down to get back in.
Have you taken any notice of what Harms has been saying the last couple of days over there in terms of he's seemed to have put a fair rocket up his players over there?
Oh, I haven't, but I know that you know, Fremantle are a proud club, and that they're now at the stage where they expect good performances, and I don't think they would have performed to the level they expect. And you know, we know what a big game it is for both clubs, so I wouldn't expect anything less. And you know, I think they'll come out breathing fire, as we will. So as I say, I think it's going to be, you know, one of the great games between these two clubs. You're on, mate.
You like us, and when you hear of one of your brethren and his club parting ways, you like us and think, well, I didn't see that coming.
No, I didn't see it coming, but all I can comment on is that I've just got the utmost respect for Rodney Eade, and I think he's been one of the great modern day tacticians. So, you know, I'm sure another club will be, or the clubs will be queuing up to gain his services. I think he's proven himself to be an outstanding coach, and he'll get an opportunity somewhere else, and whoever takes him will be better for it.